folks, welcome to the Spitfire Museum in Blackpool, and I am about to have my Spitfire flight in a Mk.IX adapted Spitfire. It's in the American colours as well, which is really cool, actually, something a bit different. But here we are in the museum, so I thought I'd show you what we've got. This is actually a really good museum, worth a visit. Have a look at what we've got here. So we've got a Hurricane, there are actually 3 Spitfires, one of them's actually outside at the moment, which I can't show you because it had to be moved out to clear this area right in front of us now, which is where they park the flying Spitfire that I'm going to be going in overnight. So it looks like there's a 5B, I think that is. That's 5B Spitfire there. We've got, looks like a Mk.I Hurricane right here. And we've got all sorts of amusing things. I really want to get to this ME-109, which is the one that's got my interest. And here we go. So it's a Battle of Britain 109E. Not a flying example, sadly, but I don't think there's only 2 or 3 in the world, I think. So let's have a look at it. There's the engine down the bend. Oh, it's Junkers Umo, in fact. Junkers Umo engine, I beg your pardon. Yeah, not the same engine that's in the ME-109.
This is part of a Lancaster bomber. Now you've got to picture it. It's going flying this way. So the pilots actually stood outside this bit.
So you can see it's got cannons on the wings. Just zooming back. It's really nice, actually. I didn't know they had this here. This is actually quite remarkable. So what we'll do, we'll just zoom by.
This way. You're suddenly going to...
Here we go. You can see the spinner, yellow nose, very traditional Battle of Britain scheme, and the very tricky canopy. I've just been talking to some of the staff here, just been telling me that it is super tight in that cockpit. It's got to be the worst one of the lot in terms of access and being able to bail out of it, etc. So your Spitfires are relatively roomy by comparison. Mustang even more so. Look at this. This is a Mk.V, another Mk.V Spit, I think it is. There's a Mk.IX, I beg your pardon. Mk.IX, my mistake. Yeah. Tell by the cannon bulges on the wing. Quite nice, isn't it? And then here we've got the crew, basically where you go in there, and in my case I went in there and had to have my flight training, getting ready for my flight. And got a gentleman over here who is in charge of the Mk.IX Spitfire. Hello there, what's your name, sir?
My name's Stephen.
Hi Stephen, I'm Peter. I'm going to be going up shortly, so I'm just having a look at what awaits me. Gulp. So can I have a look in the cockpit?
Yeah, you can.
I won't get in it. I'll just have a little look in here at the instruments. So I'm used to model ones rather than the real ones, to be honest. But you can see it's pretty tight. Not as tight as a 109 though, yeah?
I've not been in the 109, but I have heard it's quite a...
Yeah, they're telling me it's really grim in there, actually. But it's in good shape, this, isn't it? Look at that. It's at the back here is where you'd have your radio gear normally. I don't think it's all been removed, of course, but... Yeah. Then you've got your gun sight there. And all your main instruments. There's a couple of them that have been removed, been painted on, and there's some that are actually genuinely are still there. It's quite a good range of them, actually. You got your pedals there, got your trim wheel, throttle controls, and of course camera only. This is the gun button here, the big silver thing. Then you got your camera button further down. So it's in good shape, is this? It's really quite impressive. And you got your gear lever control. You got the fire extinguisher, seat adjuster. Yeah, it's all there. Another fire extinguisher over there, in fact. Yeah. Then your big Merlin at the front. And 20mm Hispano cannons, of course. Quite an impressive machine.
Yes, they are, aren't they?
Yes.
I'll take you through the bits if you like.
Please do, yeah, fire away, yeah. Don't mind being filmed?
Yeah.
You alright?
That's all.
So, what's your name, sir?
Keith.
Keith, nice to meet you. I'm Peter.
Right, so basically,
Can I just say, I always get told off for making my breaker bar here in red. They always say it should be silver if it's genuine.
two trains of thought, they were both.
Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so down here, fuse boxes.
Right.
Not your kit. That's the ground crew people deal with that, of course. Not a
Right.
lot you can do in the air.
Yeah.
These are trim wheels. That is trim wheel rudder for yaw
Yes.
and trim wheel elevator for pitch.
Right.
On the pitch instrument there, nose up, nose down.
Got it.
Obviously, if you're in cloud or at night, you need to know what your aircraft's doing in relationship to the planet. And many times pilots can get disorientated through not reading the instrumentation properly. So it's vital, you have an understanding of any of that. So starting on this wall here, we have a map box down here. That's your flight maps in there. Okay. And now we have a camera footage indicator here. So when you fire the weapons, it takes cine film of the kill from a gun camera in the wing leading edge just there. Or if you want to take cine film without firing the guns, you've got camera only.
Oh, that's what the only means. Right, got
Yeah,
it.
camera
Yeah.
only. So that might be intelligence gathering if you're flying over France later on. That there's a column or a ship in the English Channel, North Sea. Bosses might want to take an interest in.
Yeah.
Further on, we have the radio channel selector. Different channels to be selected on that. But the main radio is in the back.
Yes.
And there's a big valve set. And they're that heavy that if it says WT or ballast, if you take the wireless transmitter out, you've got to put ballast in, or else your centre of gravity changes.
Right.
Yeah, they're that heavy.
So, just to interrupt you there, interesting, you just made me think, the question I was going to ask somebody. In the two-seater that I'll be flying in, I'm the ballast kind of thing, aren't I? So have those radios been removed?
The cockpit's further forward.
The main cockpit?
Yep.
Is it?
You'll find that the gap between the engine area, engine separation or firewall to the front of the windscreen is slightly narrower, it's slightly less.
Got it.
Also, they balance it with fuel tanks and your radios are nothing like the weight it used to be because it's all printed circuitry.
Right,
So,
okay, that's
solid
interesting. Didn't know
state.
that.
Right, here, so that's your channel selector. That's your throttle assembly.
Yep.
That's your main throttle for full power and back to flight idle.
Yep.
You have what we call a friction here, which tensions those because you don't want it vibrating and coming back on you. Things like that, so you can tighten the friction. That lever is what we call air screw control, which controls pitch on the propeller.
Yep.
Earlier Mark of Spitfires had to have a mixture lever here for mixture carburation. On the Mk.IX though, it didn't have that. It had a Bendix-Stromberg carburetor, which was self mixture. However, we'll move on a little bit now. Air screw control, they didn't really need that either because it was automatic on a Mk.IX, like yours will be that you're flying in. Early Marks did have to be adjusted, but you can use it in emergency.
Right.
To get yourself out of problems. Right, so here we have oxygen flap lever. That is compressed air flap lever. That you only need the flaps for landing, not takeoff. Right. So it's in actual fact it's virtually a 90-degree air brake, if you will. Yeah. Oxygen information, contents gauge, and flow rate through this pipe to your mask. That'll be connected to your mask. Okay, now moving on, keep an eye on your contents and keep an eye on your flow rate, especially above 10,000 feet. Obviously, you need to look at that. Up down indicator is for your undercarriage, which is here.
Yep.
Locked in the detent for undercarriage up, locked in the detent. Don't forget to put your wheels down before you land, which has happened without wheels. Yeah.
Do they still have the indicator, the visual indicator?
It's not just an indicator, it's where the flap actuator wouldn't have room in the wing to manoeuvre, so it has to go. But by sheer fluke, you paint it red and also you can shut your flaps down. So basically, it's room for the manoeuvring of the actuator.
So that's the flaps. Is there an indicator for the gear as well that pops up?
Yes, there was, but a rod.
I thought I'd seen it.
That's
right,
correct. Yeah. So that's that. So basically, moving on, speed in knots. Artificial horizon, ADI, artificial horizon, call it what you will, mimics what your aircraft's doing, tells you, not mimics,
tells you what you're doing in relationship to the planet beneath.
Yep.
Normally that's a sand colour, a tan colour now, and that's blue for sky.
Right.
Climb indicator and turn and bank or side slip indicator. Bearing indicator is this, that's your compass,
Okay.
basically, and a backup compass here. That is straight and level flying only because it will tip.
Right.
Okay, there's oil-filled backup compass. Altimeter is here, that's your altitude. Right, so moving on, we have a voltmeter up here. We have RPMs, rev per minutes on the engine, oil pressure, oil temperature, and cooling temperature of the coolant,
Right.
which is virtually like your car, antifreeze and water, liquid cooled engine. Boost gauge, which is your supercharger pressures. There's a two-stage supercharger in this aircraft. That keep your eye on that boost gauge now and then. In combat, you won't have to do that though. I mean, if it's exceeding it, if that red light comes on, it could be low pressure warning for oil and things like that. So be aware if that turns on. Fuel gauge is here, petrol gauge, 37 gallon, reads on the bottom tank, which is a bit odd, but there we are, that's what it did. Fuel test switch there. Right, so further round we have spare bulbs for the gun sight, which is a lit up heads up display, ring, crosshairs and a dot. You can actually move the slide bars of the horizontal bars by opening them up or closing them on base feet on that. And that is the width of the aircraft ahead of you. You have time to do that.
Yeah.
Because say a Messerschmitt 30 odd feet, 36 foot, 70 odd foot for a Heinkel, it gives you your optimum position for the harmonised guns. I think more or less you haven't time for messing with that, I would have thought.
No.
But anyway, that I don't know.
Just got to try and get in close enough, haven't you, really?
Yeah. So further on, we have fuel tap on. That should be off. Somebody's been messing. Fuel tap on, master fuel. K-gas primer, that primes your carburation.
Right.
By like a bit of, like the blow lamp pump, if you will.
Okay.
Then you've got your start buttons here. And what you do is turn the magnetos on, 1 and 2. 2 ignition systems, 2 spark plugs per cylinder for safety. One fails, you've got to back up. Shout to your ground crew, and you do not press start till you get a return answer of prop clear.
Yeah.
Prop clear. Press hard, hold for 5 seconds.
Right.
A little bit of throttle, nothing much. Hold. And the reason that is there with the ball end on is if they shout fire, that the engine's caught fire, shump that down and get out.
Yeah.
And you do a runner. They'll deal with the fire. Okay. In this aircraft, strangely, we have a round counter for cannon on one gun. It was prototype, but the boss wanted that fitted just as a side. But that's a round counter, of remaining rounds.
Goes down pretty quickly, I imagine.
Oh yes, about 14 seconds worth. Yeah,
Really? That's it, is it?
Yeah, that's it. So what we're going to do is put her back to bed. That's your slow running cutout. So after you've finished, let it tick over for a little while, let it thin oil, and then pull that out, and the engine will cut out.
Got it.
This side we have thread spare bolts together. That's your Morse key. That uses a lamp under your feet here. These are ear switches that do your navigation lights, top marker light and tail lights. That selects those. Control column's very straightforward. It's a cricket bat, don't worry about the noise. Forward, and that's dive, that's climb, and roll left, roll right. Okay. And that's run on a bit like pushback sprockets and chain. That's how it connects to the actuating arms and rods, things like that. Cables, if you
So
will.
just going back to your Morse code, is that the light underneath?
Yes.
Right, got it, yeah. Yes.
Although
cool.
on this one you can flash the lights as well. You can navigation light.
See, all these things, I built the model, quite a big scale one. Things like the bulbs and that, I've never been quite sure what they were for.
Yeah, spare bulbs for the guns higher. So this side, now we have IFF. That's a map lamp. You can read maps. On this side, it's missing at the moment, is a compass light. You could shine a lamp down there, more focused beam.
Right.
That's a map reading lamp. This is IFF system, identify friend or foe. Once it is switched on, the little box in the back, shouldn't really call it a transponder then, but it teaches the ladies on radar, if you're coming back singularly, and your radio's out or whatever, that you're not an enemy aeroplane coming back. Because obviously they can't allow you to strafe an airbase full of aeroplanes. So IFF, important, identify friend or foe. That adjusts your seatbelt tightness. Yeah, so you can undo it, lean forward, do a job, come back on the rail and lock it up again.
Okay.
Okay, it's a tensioner. Those are your destruct buttons for the IFF.
Right.
So if you had to force land in France, your aircraft's not, you haven't crashed it,
It's
you've
still
bailed
intact,
out.
yeah.
Relatively intact. They arm the two switches, press that, and I think 4 minutes, something like that, an incendiary goes off in the IFF contactor box, and that'll, in the box, that'll go off.
Wow.
That's that. Further on, we have the undercarriage emergency blowdown system. So any aircraft with retractable undercarriage usually has a secondary backup, could be gravity, or in the war CO2, a bottle of CO2 in the back, carbon dioxide, nitrogen nowadays, or electrical backup. So if hydraulics have failed, put it in the down, arm that, push that forward, it busts a wire, but it will blow it down.
Okay.
And then what pilots used to have to do, apparently, is to yaw a little bit to let the undercarriage doors bang, make it sure it's locked, then yaw again, bang, the other way, to try and assist the downlocks to come in. That's what I've read. I've never had to do it, obviously, but that's what they did, a little bit of yaw.
Gosh.
Right, further on we have what looks like a handbrake, a seat height
Seat
adjuster.
height, this is the one I'm doing now, yeah.
That's your anti-icing pump.
Oh, right, okay.
Puts antifreeze on the windshield.
Right.
Yeah, so a bit like a blow lamp, but what you do is turn that on, pump, 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 and it de-ices the windshield. Well, should do.
In theory.
Right, further back we have an oxygen tap here that turns your oxygen onto the pipe.
Yeah.
Make sure that's on. I think your ground crew would deal with that. That is more or less it. So you have an escape crowbar. If you can't open the door, the canopy, through having to pancake, or you've got damage, that's the only other method you could use to try and smash your way out. Okay.
Right.
You have a rear view mirror. If you notice, modern day jet fighters still have them in here. It's that important.
Yeah.
You know,
Works, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
They haven't gone to cameras and screens like lorries yet.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, nowadays, I think the F-35 obviously has cameras all over the place. Whether that uses them is doubtful. Although the goods are backup.
I think it does happen.
Yeah, well, if your electrical system's failed, the Mk.1 eyeball
Absolutely.
still works.
And it helps you with the spatial awareness.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So further on, just a little bit of armour plate behind the head and shoulders and down. It's only bulletproof, not cannon rounds.
Right.
But it gave at least some protection. And that's about it.
Right, well that's fantastic. You've covered all those things that I never knew what they were. Now I do.
Okay.
I'll let you out of the way. That'll be me in a few minutes, climbing in and climbing out.
Oh yeah, you'll be going in the real thing. Like you're going on that little flybird.
Yes, indeed. Well, thanks very much, Keith. That's
You're welcome.
absolutely
You're
fantastic.
welcome.
I really appreciate
That's,
it. Thank you as well. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So I'll be putting you on YouTube about this because I'm sure that will fascinate a lot of people.
Yeah, and the other thing is, Lucy is an early Mk.IX, one of the first 300 built, mimicking that. So if you notice, she has a shorter tail at the top than the one you're going in,
Yes.
which is a Mk.8.
Yeah.
I know it sounds a bit odd, Mk.8, but
But it would have had a retracting rear wheel, tail wheel, wouldn't it?
yes,
but it
as
isn't
well.
on.
Yeah,
Does it work?
Yes, I think theirs do. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it
Okay.
does.
They're just not using it.
But yeah, the tall tail came in for higher altitude, of course, for
Right.
stability.
Yeah.
And if you notice, Lucy has these strange D-Day stripes on. They might look strange, but they have a very, very big purpose.
They're very wide, aren't they? Yes.
They are. These are wide, but I think they're a little over wide, but they did vary slightly.
Yeah.
Because they were applied by anything you can get your hand. It could be a mop,
Paintbrush.
a brush.
Yeah. Floor brush.
And we all know what they're for. To tell
Yeah.
those young men charging across France, don't shoot me down.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's it. Yeah. Lucy is cannon armed, 20mm cannon, multiple head cannon. So
Hispano, isn't it?
it is Hispano cannon, yes, and the Browning 303 machine guns. That's 4 of those, and 2 Hispano cannon. Round about 14-15 seconds of ammunition. The only difference is the Hispano cannon round has 3 different heads. So you
Right.
can have an exploder head,
Yeah.
an incendiary head, and an armour-piercing head, and that's repeated all down the belt. Hence the reason for the different colour codes
Got it.
on the head.
Okay.
When you consider, though, the Battle of Britain was fought and won with that
I know, it's amazing. Isn't it?
against a Messerschmitt firing similar to that. So amazing.
Scary stuff.
But yeah, the Mk.IX, brought out as a panic emergency because of the fog wolf, what, 90?
And yet it lasted till the end of the war, pretty much.
It
didn't
did, it was that good.
Fantastic. Right, well, I'm going to have to go now because I can hear my
Thank you.
plane's just arrived.
Oh, that's a Cessna.
Oh, is it? Is it? I couldn't quite tell. I thought he'd arrived. I know he's due back very shortly, but anyway.
Okay.
Right, well, thanks very much for all your help. Really appreciate that. And just keep yourself in the frame. I'm going to go and have a fly in the real thing.
Yeah, that's it, well done.
Pray for me.
You'll be fine. It's a brilliant team.
What's this? Yeah. He's taking off now.
He's jumping up, isn't he? Yeah, I mean it's just not realistic.